Hey everybody, what's going on? Anonymous TK is back on the mic, and this time we're gonna talk about the masteries. We're gonna talk about which set of mastery build you wanna have, if you wanna grind for the arenas or you just want the maximum PI possible in the game. Uh, you may ask, why would you want to change your whole set of masteries just for the PI? When you're grinding with the big boys, when you want to go for that 4-star featured champion right now, you have to get about 18, 19, and sometimes even more million points in one grind. And having higher PI base is going to help you grind in the arena because you're going to have to grind less times. So in this build, we're going to go and focus on how much damage we can output, as much damage as possible to end the fights as fast as possible, and of course having as much PI as possible to get more points for that exact same battle. Right now I do have that setup. It's important to understand that this is not the setup that you want to have on a regular day. I mean, you don't want to go questing, you don't want to go into Alliance Quest and the Alliance War with this setup. This setup especially is special for a few days, just to go for the champion and after that change it back. In this video, we're gonna talk about how can you increase your PI with 65%, little over than 65%. I do have a spreadsheet that I have tested that out. Each and every mastery that I have unlocked, I have tested that, and I have the results right here, and that's what I'm going to talk about. So everything that I'm going to show you was tested by me personally. So this is basically the spreadsheet that all the masteries that I have checked. As you guys can see right here up top, we have the numbers. It's level 1 until 9. Not every mastery is 9 ranks. Some of them are 3, some 5, and some of them are 4. In the yellow is the masteries that you want to have max PI. I'm gonna take it off a little quick. We're gonna come back to it a little later, but right now I'm gonna talk about the offensive mastery. In the offensive mastery tree, I do have 29 points. As you guys can see, I'm going to use the mouse right now. We have the regular build. We have the base 16 in the lower offensive tree mastery. This build is going to give you the most damage output that you can have. Of course, we do want to have our two main masteries. You have the precision right here, and you have the cruelty. Those two masters are going to give you the most damage. Right here we have the courage. The courage in level 1 gives a lot of PI boosts. As you guys can see, we have on the courage, no, that's not courage, that's, yeah, courage. We have 2.36% on the first level and none on the second and the third, so that's what we're going to use on it. If you want to see individual trees, you can go to the individual video that I have made for offensive, defensive, and the utility tree. So let's keep on moving. Right here we have, of course, the suicide masteries. We have 6 points in the suicides. We of course unlocked I forgot the name, the recoil for it, and we put 3 into the glass cannon. Actually, the 2 more points that I put in basically because I had 2 points left over, and I said, why not? They give decent PI, and they're gonna give damage. In the newest masteries that we have right here, we have 1 in despair, 1 in deep wounds, and 1 in assassin, because the second and the third rank and level will not give us the big PI boost that we want, and we're not going to use them that frequently, right? The despair is not, it's useless in the arenas. The bleed is only for the bleed champions. And assassins, well, when you get at the end of the game, usually you have the SP1 and you can finish them off with a suicide. So no need for more than 1 point in there for the damage. In the defensive tree, we have our base 15 right here. We needed the base 15 to get to willpower. We're going to talk about that a little in a second. For the base 15, we do need one in vitality and the greater vitality. We want to take the salve right here to rank 3 because it gives the most points. Recover recover is not really important. Me personally, I always max out our block proficiency. It's important to have it maxed out. We need 1 point in perfect block to get to 2 points in stand your ground. 2 points in stand your ground will gonna give us a big PI boost, and that's the reason we have it. The reason I have 4 points instead of the 1 because I had 3 left over, 3 points left over, and we need to have 15. So you can have either 3 points in perfect block, or you can just use them in the physical resistance or in the energy resistance. They really don't matter where you're gonna put the points in. You have the option of physical and the energy resistance and the block and the perfect block. Me personally, I rather have perfect block maxed out instead of the resistances. That's my personal views, and that's why I have it with 4 points right now. Of course, when we move over to the extended defensive tree, we have 1 point in willpower. We need at least 1 point to offset the suicide master, so we will not die as quick as possible. So we have some maneuvering. So we'll have some maneuvering options. I did put 1 point in coagulate, and I did put 1 point in suture. The reason for that is they give a lot of PI boost. It's not to offset the bleed on suicide or something, but they do give a lot of PI boost. If you guys go ahead and check right down on the defensive part, you can see that the coagulate gives 0.62% boost and the suture gives 1.23% boost. Unfortunately, I don't have suture unlocked, or I don't have the iniquity or the resonate unlocked, so I did not test those masteries. But other than those 3 masters, I have everything else unlocked. So yes, the suture and the coagulate are basically, the coagulate is basically to get to the suture, and the suture is to give us more PI boost. So that was the reason, and not to offset the suicide masteries. In the utility tree, we do have the basic 1 point in limber, 1 point in dexterity, and 1 point in parry, because they don't really give us much PI boost, and 1 point is more than enough. But we have stupefy, petrify, and pacify maxed out, since they do give out a lot of PI boost for all the champions, almost 1% on each and every level. So you do want to have those 3 masteries maxed out. I did not invest in any of the detection masteries because they give nothing at all. Of course, neither the scout lanes. Right here we have the cosmic and the mystic masteries. We have the same thing in the defensive tree. We have the tech and the science, and in the offensive tree we do have the skill and the mutant masteries. When you use points in those masteries, they only give boost to those specific class champions. So for example, if I would max out the skill master, the pure skill right here, if I would put more points into this, it will only benefit my skill champions. Same goes with the mystic dispersion. If I would put more points in the mystic dispersion, only my mystic champions will gain the PI boost. So therefore I do not want to do that, because I'm going to be using all my roster in the alliance, in the arenas, sorry. So as you guys can see, we have 12 points in the utility tree. We have 18 points in the defensive tree. We have the base 15 right here, and we have, of course, willpower unlocked, and 1 point in coagulate in suture. In the offensive tree, we have the base 16 that I have explained in the individual video, in the offensive individual video. We do have the suicide master is maxed out. You can take 2 points out of the glass cannon if you really want and use somewhere else. Those are the 2 points that are going to give you the least amount of boost. If you have unlocked the resonate and the iniquity, and you know that they're gonna give you more points, or if you have a suture unlocked and they're gonna give you more points, I do not have those tested. You can use them over there. Let's just put up the spreadsheet that I have right here, and I'm gonna talk about it a little bit. As you guys can see, we have the basic offensive tree. We have the basic defensive tree, and we have the basic utility. The small changes are in the end of each and every defensive, offensive, and utility trees. You can take a look and see which levels of the masteries you wanna unlock or you wanna take. Of course, you're gonna have to remember again that I'm saying that this tree is purely for the arenas, and you really don't want to have this build on the regular basis. This build you can use on those 3 days, for example, if you're grinding for a featured champion, but you really want to change that to the basic or to the regular other tree that build that you had before or will have. Or if you have any questions, of course, I'll be happy to answer. So this is what we have for the max PI. This is gonna give us again 65.16% boost on all of our champions on average. You need to be level 60 to get this tree build, because you need to have 59 points unlocked in the masteries. You have to 100% act 4 to get all those 4 extra points, and this is basically it. Hopefully that it helped you out. If you have any questions, as always, I'll be happy to answer. You can find me on YouTube or online. Yeah, I don't know what else to say. I'm kind of thinking maybe I'm forgetting something. As I said, you can take 2 points off glass cannon, 0.58% boost. You can put anywhere else that you want. This is gonna be the least important mastery, but anyway, guys, if you liked it, give it a like, share it. Of course, subscribe to the channel if you're not. See you next time.